Hello everybody, welcome to Awesome Rusty Bucket. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already and drop a like on this video. I am trying to hit 100k subscribers on this channel, so your subscription will be much appreciated. Also drop a like, it only takes 1 second and makes a massive difference. Alright, today's video is going to be speculating on the Most Improved Player Award, which personally for me is one of the more fun awards in the league to actually speculate on. And that's just because I think, there's a lot of factors into a player taking a leap. It can be a matter of just more opportunity. It can be a matter of, obviously, if they've made improvements or not. But it's just interesting to speculate on what guys are going to take leaps, especially when it comes to players that you're individually invested in. Like, for example, I have a list in front of me, and 2 players on here that stand out as guys I'm really invested in, Patrick Williams and Christian Wood, as some potential candidates for this award. If both of those guys took leaps, I would be absolutely thrilled, especially Patrick because he's on my own team, Christian because I've been a fan forever. But either way, it's really cool to see players improve, is my point. I don't know why I'm fucking talking to you like you don't know this already. So I'm going to go down. I wrote a quick list of players' names, and I'm realizing there's one that I should have included on that list and I didn't. But these are a list of players that I think are primed for potentially getting into a Most Improved Player conversation and winning the award. First player on my list is, I also should mention, I don't know if this is coming out before or after, but I am doing a video on like who would basically be the most improved player for every team, like the player I expect to take the biggest leap for each team. So this is a separate thing. This is actually the Most Improved Player award. These are like the 5, or I guess there's like 8 players on this list or whatever that I think would take a leap so significant they actually win that award. So bear that in mind. First on the list, Tyrese Maxey of the Philadelphia 76ers, for the simple reason of I think this is his first All-Star year. And, whether or not that means a statistical leap significant enough to actually win the award, I do not know, because that is an important factor. He averaged like 18 or 19 last year, and if he made it averaging like 22, I don't think that's enough to win the award, even though an all-star leap is noteworthy. But I do think Tyrese can get to like 25 points per game, especially if James Harden is going to defer to him, which he really seemed rather comfortable doing for his brief time in Philadelphia. And a full season of that, Tyrese was actually better with James Harden, which I thought was going to be the opposite of the case, and many people did. When James Harden joined the team, I was like, I obviously James Harden on the Sixers is cool, but also Tyrese Maxey could take a little bit of a hit. Instead, Tyrese Maxey was even better. I don't know that his per game numbers took a huge leap, but his efficiency did, and that was really noteworthy. So presuming that his production can go up a little bit while maintaining some pretty damn good efficiency alongside James Harden, I think Tyrese has a real shot at it. Honestly, this guy might be my pick now that I'm looking at it. It's between really 3 players, and they're all listed in order, so I'm going to not list them in order here just for the sake of the video being better. But the first name here is Anthony Simmons of the Portland Trail Blazers. Anthony averaged, I believe, 17 last year, but if you go and look at his numbers post Dame's injury, he averaged like 25 and 7 for the last like 27 games of the year. And he shot 10 threes a game on like 45% from 3. And he was statistically one of the best pull-up and catch-and-shoot three-point shooters in the league. The guy is just a fucking bucket, and his playmaking has taken a huge leap, and he's one of the best three-point shooters in basketball. And I think alongside Damian Lillard, he's only going to continue to do that. And I think his numbers are going to be like 24 a game, like probably like 6 assists on great efficiency. And being that his averages for the whole year last year was 17, that's a pretty big statistical leap. So Anthony might actually be my pick for this award, so there's a spoiler for you there. I wrote Patrick Williams down. I put a question mark next to it because I was like, am I being biased by including Patrick Williams on this list? And I decided that it really entirely depends on whether or not the Bulls are planning on finally really utilizing him this year. I feel like now is the year where it'd be like, all right, let's actually try and get as much as we can out of this guy rather than just talking about his potential all the time. And he had 2 20-point games in the playoffs, so that was definitely something worthy of note. But it really just comes down to whether or not the Bulls embrace him and give him more opportunity. If they do, I do think I could see him taking a leap from like, what does he average? Like 9 points to like 15. But I don't know if they're going to embrace him like that. Christian Wood. This is purely just Luka hand feeding him buckets, and if that can result in him averaging 25 rather than the 18 that he did with the Rockets. He's going to have a lot of opportunity in the pick and roll and the pick and pop with Luka, and there's going to be opportunity for him to score in the isolation as well, because he's not awful at that, and there's not really that many other players to do it, especially with Jalen Brunson gone. So I could see a world where Christian Wood averages like 25 and 10 next year, and that wins him the award, especially because there's always going to be attention paid to Luka, and if you have the narrative of like, wow, Christian Wood, the first actual Luka star help around him, that obviously is going to carry a lot of weight to it. So if there is a narrative going around that Christian Wood is the first real bit of help in Luka's career, then he's going to achieve quite a bit of praise. Quentin Grimes. This is a more niche name if you're not a New York Knicks fan. I just want to say right now, I want to put it out there, I'm buying all the stock in Quentin Grimes. Quentin is a pretty decent-sized guard who has one of my favorite looking jump shots of all time. The guy's jumper is absolutely fucking gorgeous. And as pretty as it goes in, or as pretty as it is, it goes in just as frequently. Not necessarily throughout his whole career, but he's had moments where he has really shined and shown potential as a real scoring threat. And I think given real opportunity, which I think he's going to get this year, he could absolutely compete for most improved player. The last three names on this list are guys who all have a real shot at winning it. Let's talk about two players who are on the same team, Jaden McDaniels and Anthony Edwards. Jaden, I think this would, again, it's a similar situation to Patrick, which is, are they going to embrace him more within the offense? Because Jaden actually has a good mid-range pull-up. He has good handle. He's a really good finisher. His three ball is the only thing that you'd really want to be better, but you can hope that there's a bounce back from his second season to his rookie season, because his rookie season, he shot about 35%, and his second season about 31%. If he could get to like 14 points per game, I don't even know what his per game average is right now, but he's able to do that and then be like an all defensive guy, I could see him getting in that conversation. But more likely than that, and really the reason I would say Jaden probably doesn't, is because there's going to be more focus on Anthony Edwards. Now, Ant's actual per game stats, I could see Ant averaging like 28 this year. I'm going to be real. I genuinely think that type of per game stuff is feasible for him. Not to mention like probably like 6 rebounds and like 5 assists or so on good efficiency. So I believe there's a huge chance for Ant to do that, on top of the fact that there's going to be a lot of attention paid to the Minnesota Timberwolves. So he is high on my list. And then last but not least, Tyrese Halliburton of the Indiana Pacers. I absolutely love Tyrese, and I think that his numbers are going to be even better with the Pacers. The only thing that would make me hesitate is there's a little bit of a wiring issue with him that makes me wonder if he's really going to take over games or take over like the shots as much as I would like him to, because the guy has the offensive capability to average 20 right now, but does he have the mentality to average 20 rather than 16? That's the thing that I'd be worried about. But if we're going to make a list of like my top 3 candidates for this award, I'm going to go Anthony Simons number 1, Anthony Edwards number 2, and Tyrese Halliburton number 3, and then Christian Wood is probably a really close 4th. But I think Anthony Edwards probably has just Anthony Edwards might win it over Anthony Simons just because he's more popular, but I think Anthony Simons is more likely to actually take that leap. So I don't know. I'm kind of like I might be tied on Simons and Edwards, and then Tyrese as, you know, the third place clearly there. But I that's my list, I guess. So my pick for most improved player, I'm gonna go with Anthony Simons. Would not be shocked at all if it was Anthony Edwards. or it's going to be some player that I didn't even fucking mention. And I'm sure you guys are going to tell me in the comment section who you think it's going to be that I didn't even mention. But these are just the guys that I think are most likely slotted to win the award. It could be some guy who's 30. That happens sometimes. But yeah, that is it. Goodbye.